Ang ating kwentuhan napapakinggan kahit saan. Samahan niyo ako sa bawat kwento na pwede natin pag-usapan. At sa bawat kwentuhan, lagi kang kasama. Ako si Gab Humilde Villegas at ito ang Kwentuhang Random, the podcast. Hello! Welcome sa panibagong episode ng ating kwentuhan. At sa episode na ito, makakausap natin si Mr. Romar Chuca at pag-uusapan natin kung paano siya nagsimula, no? Bilang isang content creator at kung paano siya naging kilala bilang the Catholic comedian. Naging interesado ako with him since I saw his videos on Facebook as well as on TikTok, no, sharing about Catholic humor, no, yung mga nakakatuwang bagay about Catholic faith, katulad na lang ng pag-play ng mahabang version ng isang kanta, yung hindi mo alam kung kailan papasok yung commentator, o kaya yung halimbawa may mga commentators na biglang puputulin yung kanta ng choir para isingit yung isang announcement. Example na lang yung mga first second collection, o kaya ay may mga announcement sa parokya ng mga activities, yan, something like that. And also, isa pa sa mga napanood ko yung mga mash-up niya ng mga liturgical at secular songs. Ito na yung ating interview kay Mr. Romar Chuca, also known as the Catholic comedian. Pakinggan po natin. Hello, good afternoon. Can you tell us more about yourself?
Okay, so hello, I'm Romar Chuca and I am known as a Catholic comedian, no? I don't like minsan yung the Catholic comedian kasi marami namang iba't ibang nagpapatawa din in terms of the Catholic faith, mga pare, mga lay people. I think there was just one lazy day na sinabi ko, okay, I can name myself a Catholic comedian. But anyway, aside from that, I am currently, content creator as a Catholic comedian, no? Pero what I also do is, ngayon, nasa mission work ako with Jesuits dito sa Jesuit Bukidnon IP, Indigenous Peoples Ministry, the Father Leone Mission Foundation. I work as the socio-economic enrichment and development officer here. So, gumagawa kami ng mga social enterprise para makapagpaaral pa ng mas madaming mga lumad scholars, no, from the different tribes of Bukidnon. And aside from that, I'm also a teacher. I taught for 4 years sa Ateneo de Manila University. Tapos, corporate life, naging manager ako sa restaurant one time. Tapos, at marami pang iba, photographer, theater artist, director. At yun, ang madami.
Ayun, nabanggit niyo rin na yun doon sa mga lumad scholars. So far, ilan yung mga scholars ng Ateneo, ng Jesuit?
Hindi. Hindi ito sa Ateneo, no? Parang it's a separate institution. So ito sa mga Jesuit, or specifically sa Jesuit Bukidnon IP Ministry, currently we have, I think, 63, if I'm not mistaken, either 63 or 67 ng mga scholars dito sa amin. Tapos parang ang goal kasi within the next 10 years, actually nag-start na siya before, within 10 years makapag-graduate ng 100 lumad or IP scholars dito. So yun yung pinagkakabalahan namin dito sa Bukidnon.
So, ayan. How did you discover? Sige, kwento muna natin yung about sa yung Catholic faith. So, how it started. Paano mo na yung sa sarili mo na
dun sa
for that mission?
Well, very deep seated, tama ba yung word, dun sa ang Catholicism ko kasi ever since naman nung bata, no, nung kabataan ko, yung parents ko talagang inintroduce na ako sa Catholic faith. Sorry, wait lang, nawala ata ako.
Okay lang.
Yun.
Okay.
Inintroduce na ako sa Catholic faith through rosary, attending mass, etc. Pero I think nag-deepen yung Catholic faith ko doon sa Ateneo. Yung pag-aaral ng Christian life education, tapos nag-deepen pa siya lalo nung nasa high school ako kasi dun sa high school, no, I was part of a theater group. It's named Dulaang Sibol, and then sa Dulaang Sibol, it was founded by Mr. Onofre Pagsanghan. Siya ay isa sa mga mentor ni Father Manoling Francisco, yung nag-compose ng Hindi Kita Balilimutan, Huwag Kang Mangamba, and things like that. Naging under din ako ni Mr. Onofre Pagsanghan or Mr. Pagsi. And dun parang in-imbibe niya sa amin na parang even with theater, kasi it was essentially or primarily a theater group, but not just a theater group. It was a theater group for the Lord, no? To really inspire a lot of people. Like, yung mga plays na sineset up namin really had the heart to teach a lot of people. So yun, parang doon ko na-realize na okay, hindi lang naman pala si God pagdating sa parang pag-attend ng misa, but you can also praise, reverence, and worship si God through music, through arts, no? So doon nagsimula din yung ko kasi yung pagtutugtog ng piano, because at second year we were taught that, and we were told na dapat come fourth year you should learn how to play at least one instrument already, and I was taught to play the piano. So at second year high school, the way that I was being taught was, yes, I had to learn the theory, the chords, no, but the way that I was really taught was, sige, isabak ka, let's put Romar in church, no, in the chapel, and let's let him play. So there I experienced a lot of mistakes, a lot of bloopers, as people now know, no, and yun talaga yung yun yung isa sa mga parang nagpalalim palalo nung pananampalataya ko. It was as if, di ba sinasabi ni Saint Ignatius na find God in all things. Nandun talaga parang we were able to find God even in music, even in theater, no? Kahit na hindi mo directly na sinasabi na this is about God, no, pero parang when you make people realize, no, at may tiwala ka sa audience na itong ginagawa mong art, no, para sa pananampalataya kay Lord, then I think you've done so much already. So yun yung lalim ng yun yung talagang pinanggalingan. Moving on through college, no, sa Ateneo pa rin ako nag-college. Pa rin, very active, not in theater, but in church music, liturgical music din. I was part of Ateneo College Ministry Group. Pero I was continuing theater sa Dulaang Sibol pa rin, pero on the side na lang talaga siya. So doon, marami pang experiences kasi nung college, doon din ako nagsimula maging active sa parokya namin. So sa Good Shepherd, sa cathedral namin sa Novaliches, doon bahagi ako ng Disciples Choir, and talagang doon din ako nakakuha ng maraming experiences to say that I'm at least confident with playing in front of a lot of people, no, and especially for the Lord kapag dating sa misa. So yun yung parang naging exposure ko. Tapos actually madami kasi 'di ba nung nagturo ako sa Ateneo High School din, I was also given the task to once upon a time I was a member of Dulaang Sibol, pero ako na rin yung naging moderator ng Dulaang Sibol. So for 2 years or 3 years I was the moderator there. And dun lumalim lalo yung faith ko, tapos parang dun ko rin mas na-apply, and binigay pa sa akin yung pag-manage ng community choir. So talagang maraming mga application sa mga moments na yun. Tapos bakit naman parang lumalim palalo, kasi yun nga, parang sa mga learnings ko nung college, tapos mga learnings ko as I taught Christian life education as well. Yun po, sir.
So ayun, paano ka
I think doon na napunta yun sa paano ka napunta sa ministry na nalalagyan mo ngayon. And naisip mo ba, sumagi ba sa isip mo na pumasok sa pagpapare or
Actually, pumapasok naman siya before, no? Minsan nga sumali ako dun sa parang novitiate experience of the Society of Jesus. So ito sa 5-day experience nung isang December. So masagi siya, no? Lalo na before, pero parang paunti-unti nare-realize ko na hindi mo kinakailangan maging pare para makapag-influence, para makapagbago ng buhay ng mga tao, na even the lay people, no, sa simbahan natin, we have a lot of things to contribute in our church regardless if we are ordained or lay. So hindi naman sinasara ko yung pintuan, pero parang ngayon mas na-appreciate ko yung pintuan na bilang isang laiko or lay person, ang dami mong pwedeng magawa para sa simbahan at para din sa mga tao. Kasi most of the time, siguro yun isa sa mga stereotype na gusto kong buwagin, no? Na parang kapag nagsisilbi ka sa simbahan, dapat sa simbahan ka lang talaga palagi, or dapat parang sacramental or nag-serve ka as lector. It's well and good, no, to serve in the church in that way, pero pwede ba, parang I'd like to push the boundaries even further, that even in perhaps your corporate job or even in your everyday life as for example as a journalist, or that you are still praising, reverencing, worshiping God, no? And God is happy where you are as long as in your conscience it is the right thing to do. So parang ganun yung nangyayari sa akin, no, na ngayong pinipili ko, although kasama ko pa rin naman ng mga Jesuita at saka yung mga lay partners ng Jesuits here, pero alam ko sa pamamagitan ng business at saka sa pamamagitan ng comedy dito sa ginagawa ko, pa rin, nandiyan pa rin ang Diyos. Hindi niya tayo iniwan. So, yes. Yun po.
So, ayun. Paano na nag-start yung pag-upload mo sa content videos about comedy, ganyan? Ano yung hugot mo doon? Yung gusto ko malaman din eh.
Ang ano ko dyan, parang 2019, invite ako ng Jesuit Music Ministry na, actually di nga ako yung in-invite eh. Parang, since alam ni Lester Mendiola, yung director ng Jesuit Music Ministry, Jesuit Music Ministry, that I was the managing director of Dulaang Sibol because he already worked on a previous project before. He asked me, Romar, do you know of anyone who might be able to host the 50th anniversary of Jesuit Music, no? Sabi ko, sige, maghanap ako. Pero wala talaga akong mahanap. Kasi sinabi ko kay Lester na, Lester, pwede ba mag-volunteer? Tapos sabi niya, sige. And yun, parang 2019 was July 2019, that was the 50th anniversary. And dun ko na realize na, ay shucks, parang nung nagpe-perform ako sa harap ng mga tao, parang I had this quirk, or I had this thing wherein I was making some holy jokes and people were actually laughing. It was as if, no, na I was the entire Ginintuan show, although there was music, there was also laughter, no? I was throwing jokes here and there and people were really laughing. And then sabi ko, wow, this is amazing, no? Kahit yung mga simple na mga puns, tapos biglang sa gabi na version ng Ginintuan, who would have thought na si Cardinal Tagle mismo magiging ganun ka, ano ba tawag mo doon? Parang playing around on stage pa, na to the points na sinabi ko in front of like 2,000 people, nakipag-selfie ako kay Cardinal Tagle, tapos hiningi ko yung number niya kasi friends talaga kami, tapos sabi ko, see you later, yung mga ganun, no? It was really wild, no, na parang I never thought that could happen. To add pa top, yun yung isa sa mga nagbukas ng isip ko. So ito sa core memory, no? I would always remember it na may nangyaring ganon. Pero hindi ko siya masyadong sineryoso kasi 2019 pa yun eh. And then excuse me. And then the pandemic came, hindi ko pa rin iniisip, no. Nagturo ako here and there ng piano, hindi na ako nagturo sa Ateneo noon. Nag-start ako sa Empanada Business, and then nag-aral ako ng MBA ko for 1 year. And then there was this one day na sa sobrang stressed ko sa MBA work, kasi full-time yun na Masters in Business Administration. Sobrang stressed ko. Meron kami tinatawag na action consulting project wherein we had to interview a lot of people. Para siyang yung thesis namin. Biglang sabi ko, okay, may TikTok. Tapos, pinaglaruan ko siya. Tapos yung first ever video ko sa TikTok na hindi ko na pinopost ay nag-record lang ako kumakanta ako ng Yellow by Coldplay na parang mangyak-ngyak. Parang gano'n. Tapos, parang, doon ako nagsabi, record ko nga yung sarili ko na binivideo, na piniplay yung Anima Christi na napakahaba, yung intro ni Father Ernel Aquino. Basta mahabang intro yon. Maraming iba't ibang key changes. So, what happened there was yung na-discover ko yung duet feature. So, sabi ko, okay, why not yung duet? As in, di ba, you can duet sa TikTok. So, na-discover ko yun, and then, upon discovery, sabi ko, okay, I'll pretend na I was trying to come in, but I don't know when to come in dun sa intro naman, napakahaba. Until I posted it, and then, suddenly, pinost ko muna siya sa IG, sa Instagram. And then a lot of people were laughing, or nagre-react. And then pinost ko siya sa Facebook, yung personal Facebook page ko. And then parang sabi ko, wow, umabot 200, 300, 400 likes, Parang first time sa akin yun na magkaroon ng 400 or 500 likes, Tapos biglang umabot siya ng, dati akala ko hanggang 1,800 lang ang views. Parang biglang umabot yun ng mga, sabihin natin mga 5,000 views. Tapos parang, what? Really? Daming mga nanood. And then parang, dahil na, naganahan ako doon. Sabi, post ako na isa pa. Yung, yung Amen. Yung hindi mo alam kung kailan, yung Through Him, With Him, kung kakantahin ba o kakantahin ba ng choir o sasabihin ng commentator kasi hindi may miscommunication. So, yun, tapos naging viral din. Oh my goodness. Tapos parang sabi ko, okay, hindi siguro to by chance. Subukan ulit natin. Yung isa naman is yung habang communion, kantang-kanta na nga yung choir. Tapos biglang may announcement. Biglaan, pinatigil yung choir. Yung mga ganun. Tapos parang, yun, nag-viral na naman. Tapos parang ako, okay, this is starting to be something. Excuse me. While posting it on TikTok as well, so there were a lot of people who were also reacting, who were also saying a lot of things na and then parang biglang from parang 200 followers naging 500. Mas nagulat ako, nag 1,000. Mas malaki, big deal na talaga sa akin, nag 1,000 followers. And then biglang parang in a matter of a week or so or mga few days, biglang may nag-contact sa akin para mag-interview. So ganun ba talaga na Tapos biglang dumadami, nag 2,000 followers doon sa Facebook. Tapos sabi, wow, oh my gosh, 2,000 followers, that's almost the entire Erwin Theater. Doon sa kung saan ako nag-perform nung ginintuan. So, yun yung hugot doon. Tapos, sunod-sunod na yun. Parang biglang dumami yung 3,000 followers. Tapos, milestone. Unang milestone, 5,000. Tapos, next milestone, 10,000. Tapos, parang paunti-unti, dumadagdag na naman, 15,000. Tapos, noong mga December, nasa 20,000 ako. So, parang looking back, ngayong nasa 161K na ako. Parang plus 30K sa Facebook. Sabi ko, wow, oh my gosh. Ang layo na ng pinanggalingan, no? And parang hindi ako titigil dito, pero parang hindi ko naman to planado, no? Hindi ko siya pinaplano. Tinatanong sa akin ng mga tao, Romer, nagko-content planning ka ba? Sinasabi ko, hindi. Wala. Parang, kaya nga sinasabi ko pag kunwari may mga engagement na to, sinasabi ko, shoutout sa Holy Spirit, no? Na kahit alam kong imperfect ako, makasalanan ako, hindi ako ganun Parang minsan tamad ako or minsan parang bigla na lang pumapasok yung mga ideas, no? And awa ng Diyos, it connects with a lot of people. And the realization is kapag pinipilit ko siya, doon naging less effective. Pero kapag natural lang talaga, doon parang God does a lot of wonders. Yun. So ang haba pero yun talaga siya.
So ayun. Tingin ko parang maraming lay people, marami ring nagsiserve sa simbahan. I think also the clergy also relate with that. And ayun, next question, paano mo naisip na idaan sa pagpapatawa yung mga ina-upload mo sa TikTok?
Parang may naririnig lang akong malakas na tunog.
Yan, sige, okay lang. Sige, go.
Wait lang. Ayan. Parang naririnig ko pa rin, pero sige, okay lang.
Sige.
Okay lang. Yung sa paano ko paano ko siya dinaan sa pagpapatawa?
Yes.
Or ano yung tanong ulit pa?
Yes, paano yun nga, paano mo dinaan? Wait lang. So, paano mo naisip na idaan sa pagpapatawa yung mga content mo sa TikTok?
Parang alam ko kasi na when people really think about the faith, no, laging seryoso, no, na dapat ito lang yung pananampalataya natin, no, na bawal ka tumawa, dapat yung definition ba ng mga tao about sanctity.
Yes.
That sanctity is, or kunwari, sabihin natin yung buhay ng mga santo, na seryoso sila palagi, na palagi sila nakaganon, or palagi sila naglalakad ng napakabagal at nagdadasal ng rosaryo. Can't saints laugh? Tapos pag iniisip nila si Jesus, no? Bastos na ba yun naisipin si Jesus na nakipagtawa, nakipaglokohan with his friends, no? Talagang yun yung pinanghuhugutan ko, na if Jesus really was human, and the fact that Jesus was here was to understand who we are, no? Perhaps, and if we believe really that Jesus was God, he understands really that we go through emotions, and emotions is an essential part of human life. And he says, diba, parang through his life, that regardless of any emotions that you have, whether it be happy, sad, no, depressed, laughing, angry, it is valid, no. It is valid, and God understands. And yun yung pinanghugutan ko, na theologically speaking, God understands laughter, no. Kaya sinasabi ng mga tao, parang hindi ata okay yung ginagawa mo, binabastos mo yung faith. Tapos para ako, feeling ko mas binabastos ko si God if I don't acknowledge that he understands, no? Kasi yun naman talaga, the first and foremost thing with our faith is God understands who we are, the very depths and cores of our hearts. Kung gaano man kadumi yung puso mo, gaano kalinis ang puso mo, God is willing to enter and change us. He accepts me for who I am, in the unique particular way that I am, and so is you, so your listeners or whatnot, no. So yun yung hugot ko, na parang kaya comedy, kasi hindi naman ako parang all the time nagpapatawa lang. Kung if people follow really my page, no, may mga moments of pause, no, may mga moments of political stances, may mga moments of joyous moments, may mga sad moments, because Catholicism isn't just about our boxed up definition of holiness, na dapat seryoso, na dapat ganito, that it is all rules, no. Because kapag puro rules na lang, nakakasakal yun, and hindi naman nananakal ang Panginoon, no. He is a free loving God who understands us regardless of who we are. Kaya nga parang regardless kung ano man yung ilagay kong secular music, tapos tutugtugin kong pangsimbahan music, enjoy yan si God, eh. Parang ganun yung para and yung inspiration ko talaga dyan is, I don't know if napanood mo na yung pelikulang Sister Act, na nung pumasok si Whoopi Goldberg dun sa simbahan, tapos nag-conduct siya ng choir, tapos kinanta nila yung yung Salve Regina with drums and all, tapos talagang nagsipasukan ang lahat ng mga tao. Yung mga liturgists na medyo conservative would rise up to their graves and say this is an abomination, no? Pero for people like me na ang understanding ko is God understands our culture, God understands us. Religion is a religion that our religion, our Catholic faith, is a religion for all. No, then perhaps at the very core, he understands that even through jazz music, to tribal, indigenous music, he is still there. Yung mga ganun ba na hugot?
So, ayun. Meron with that, meron na encounter ka na ba na may mga bashers na napipikon, especially with the lay people na mga conservatives sa simbahan about on the content that you upload on TikTok? So, paano mo siya hinahandle?
Ako, the way that I handle is ginagamit ko siyang teaching moment, no? Kasi guro naman talaga ako, di ba? Isa din akong guro. Hindi naman ako guro lang, pero isa din akong guro. And ginagamit ko siyang teaching moment na para, wala na sasabihin nila, ang bastos naman ang ginawa mo, and then sasabihin ko, if indeed we truly believe that God is a God who understands us, then He understands laughter. Can't God laugh? No, parang ginagamit ko siya as catechesis or as, parang pagturo na God is beyond the strictness and God is beyond the Bisaya the rules, no? So yun, ginagamit ko siyang teaching moments, and na rin, parang self-reflective moments na rin na kung bakit ko nga ba ginagawa yung ginagawa ko. Kasi kapag nawawala ako sa ginagawa ko and I end up just thinking about it as how many likes I received, how many views, no? I get lost, no? Pero parang kapag merong mga ganun na mga quote-unquote teachable moments or teaching moments, kaya salamat sa mga bashers kasi nababalik nila ako sa ano yung dahilan kung bakit nandito ako, and it is to really say that this God is a God who understands us.
So, ayun. Meron na bang pagkakataon din na merong isang pare or anyone in the clergy, mga brothers natin who na nag-message sa'yo saying na they were offended with the content that you were uploading?
Most of the priests that I've been talking to, sinasabi nila, Sir Romar, kailan tayo makakapagpa-picture? Or makapagpa-picture, or gusto nila ng cameo sa sa mga pictures, so sali ko sila. Yung mga ganun ba? Parang super duper konti lang yung mga percent, mga 1 out of 10 or they can be 1 out of 20 priests or clergy that I meet, yun yung nagsasabi na hindi bagay yung ginagawa mo, no? And I think that says a lot about how the imperfections that I hindi naman expose, pero the imperfections that I show in serving the church, no, is very relatable and is understandable, no? So yun, parang I think natutuwa pa yung mga pare, natutuwa yung mga tao sa ginagawa ko, pero patuloy lang, no? Kahit na may mga mag-bash or hindi naman ako nandito para sa mga bashers. Dito ako para sa message at saka sa mission at saka sa purpose na ginagawa ko. As long as, pinagdadasal ko to, tapos talagang with all humility, I know and understand the role, the place that I have in the Catholic faith, then patuloy lang.
So, ayun. Yun din. Dumating ka na rin ba sa point na napagod ka na, tapos parang iniisip na, ayoko na to, pagod na ako, May dumating din bang point sa buhay mo na gano'n?
Meron naman talaga. Ano ako parang jack of all trades and madalas, it's always there, di ba? Hindi talaga matatapos ang self-doubt. Hindi talaga matatapos ang kaya ko ba tong ginagawa ko. Pero tulad ng isang sinabi ng kaibigan ko, kapag binibigyan ka ni Lord ng napakalaking sapatos, suotin mo lang kasi tapos gawin mo yung best mo, lakarin mo, maglakad ka gamit ng sapatos na yon. Kasi in time, no, lalaki naman yung paa mo para and si Lord yung sasalo sa'yo. Parang ganun ba? Hindi ko alam kung okay yung metaphor na yun. Pero parang ano lang as long as mag-chill lang at mag-relax, doon ako, at saka to take a step back all the time and to reflect, doon naman talaga doon naman talaga ako magkakaroon ng bagong idea. Nandun lang ako sa palaging dapat hindi ko i-pressure ang sarili ko pagdating dito. Kasi the more that I pressure, the more that I'm thinking that I am in control, well, in fact, hindi naman talaga ako yung in control dito, kundi si Lord, no? So, yun ang perspective ko dyan.
So, I think this will be the last question na iano ko. Ano yung message mo sa mga kabataan or in Catholics in general kung paano nila mahanap yung kanilang misyon para mapaglingkuran ang Diyos?
Ang gusto kong sabihin is ang paglilingkod sa Diyos ay hindi lamang sa loob ng simbahang bato, no? There is also nothing wrong with finding God in the many things that you are doing as youth, no? Baka mamaya kasi ikaw isang data scientist na mahilig pala sa medical field at mahilig pala sa statistics, tapos mahilig din pala sa art, no? Don't stop yourself from learning all these things because these are very good pursuits, no? There isn't always that one direction na para maging happy si Lord dapat magmadre ka o dapat maging pari ka or dapat maging doktor o abogado ka, yung mga ganun. There isn't one map to kasi baka mamaya ang iniisip mo dapat maging ganito ka lang para pagsilbihan si Lord. Hindi. So whatever you are doing now, yung mga bagay na nahihiligan nyo, no? Baka dyan ka pa nga tinatawag ni Lord. Tapos sa dinami-dami ng mga pwede mong hiligan, baka yun nga, baka pwede palang marami. So, you don't really have to find it or ipilit, no? Just let it be. Fiat nga, di ba? Parang let it be done unto me according to thy word, no? It will come, no? Just be patient with yourself. Huwag mo masyado i-pressure ang sarili mo. Ang laki na lang ng pressure ng mundo, i-pressure mo pa sarili mo. So, parang ganun lang yung mapapayo ko sa mga kabataan. Ganun.
So much. And I just want to say that I am also a big fan of yours kasi isa ako sa mga napapatawa mo every time. Especially kapag napapanood ko yung mga videos mo sa TikTok, lalo na kapag titingin ako every night. Grabe yung tawa ko. Yung tipong, I think, nakaka-share ako ng 3 to 5 na content mo sa TikTok every night. As long as meron kang bagong upload, then ayun, talagang grabe. Natatawa ako doon sa mga talagang nakaka-relate din ako doon sa mga na-upload mo na content. And before we end, saan ka nga pala mahanap ng mga tao on social media?
Mahanap ako ng mga tao dito sa Bukidnon, sa Mindanao. Magsabi lang sila, baka pwede ko silang ikutin. Wow, pero wala akong kotse. Tapos, mahanap ako ng mga tao sa social media sa aking Facebook page, sa The Catholic Comedian, Mr. Romar Chuka. Tapos, sa aking TikTok, which is The Catholic Comedian as well, Mr. Romar Chuka pa rin. Tapos, sa Instagram, Mr. Romar Chuka na spelled out MisterRomarChuca. Yun, dun most of the time. Ako makahanap ng mga tao.
Yun. Maraming salamat sa pagpapa-unlock na ma-interview kayo, and I am very honored. So yun, thank you so much. Wait lang.
I hope na enjoy ninyo ang aming kwentuhan ni Mr. Romar Chuka, also known as the Catholic Comedian. Para mapakinggan ng libre ang episode na ito, puntahan nyo lang kami sa Spotify, pati na rin sa ibang streaming platforms. We hope to see you in the next coming episodes. See ya!